with that shame, as much as my parents, especially my mother, taught me speak out, speak up, I believe culturally for me, as a child of an immigrant, we're taught, like, just be happy you're here and don't fight back.
Right.
And talking to Amanda in that, she's like, well, why do you think you're that way? Like, why do you think that is that way? And
Right.
that really made me think. And I was like, yo, I'm inspired by the movement that is happening right now in Black culture, with you guys speaking up and speaking out, and I encourage...
It's teaching us,
I'm inspired. When I hear you up here being like, I don't care, I'm gonna speak out, that inspires me and all of this and encourages me that I can do that too, because that's naturally not in my character.
Well, I've been speaking out for years
Yes.
on this show,
Yes.
okay? And when I see that video, I see him not as an Asian man, I see him as my grandfather.
Exactly.
I see them as abuse, elder abuse, and I think that there's a thing about culture that we don't understand with each other, and we all have to still understand that we all have different cultures and that we're all different. I do know that that guy did take the video down. We were supposed to say that legally, that he did, he posted it, took it down, but of course it got, you know, snatched up. And the thing is that we were trying to find who the elderly gentleman is, so that we can start a GoFundMe to help him.
Yes.
Because that's what we need to do as a community.
Whenever I see things, I like to go to the root. That's very important to me, about like just figuring out, like, okay, what is the impetus of an outcome that we see? I think we would be remiss to not acknowledge that there has been a tension between Asian and Black communities for quite some time. And even, I mean, you can see movies like Menace to Society, like, this has been a constant conflict. And the truth of the matter is, this country has done the same thing to Asian people in many ways that it has to Black people, in the sense of creating stereotypes of... creating stereotypes that are false, right?
Yes.
So if you look at the World War II and the images that were put out about Asian men as thugs and as coming for white women, etc., like, never forget, this country imprisoned Japanese people in internment camps. So what happens, though, is that we create these conflicts between the people that we put on the lower levels, and then not we. Folks create these conflicts and they step back and they watch the fighting happen. So it is incredibly important, to Lonnie's point, that, you know, it's the education of culture. And when you take away resources, you take away education, you take away information, you have people in survival mode, and folks do not operate the way that they should in survival mode. This behavior was completely unacceptable. I don't know how it started. I don't know what the impetus of this was, but at the end of the day, I don't want to see violence against people for no reason. So if this was a situation that just started because somebody felt like, I don't like you because you're Asian, you crazy. Like, this is unacceptable. But what's really unacceptable is the reality that we live in a world at this point where people are so much more interested in capturing something on their phone.
Let them know.
Than in actually being a part of ending
standing up for injustice.
Standing up for each other, helping
Every
each
single
other.
one of those faces.
And that, to me, I see that with animal abuse, with child abuse, with elderly abuse, with just other people. And I am so disgusted by this idea that people really just want to capture things for clout versus helping people for change. So, but I say all that to say that, you know, racism, prejudice, bigotry, all of these things, they have no place in a future that is about love and about elevation.
And if we're trying to get out of racism, racism is not going to stop racism.